To get started with multiple accounts in AWS, we first need to make sure that AWS Organizations is enabled. This is a service offered by Amazon Web Services to help us manage more than one account, although it also does provide some benefits for single account deployments. You should already have it enabled because it was needed for Identity Center, but in case you don't, you do need to do that first if you want to follow along. It's very simple and easy to do, and it's free. Just navigate to the AWS Organization Service, and then you'll have instructions on the page. But once enabled, you will be taken to, or you'll want to go to AWS accounts, and then from there, you'll want to create new AWS accounts. By clicking on this button here, add an AWS account, just create a new one, unless you want to invite an existing AWS account. You want to name it, add an email address, and you can use that trick of plus whatever. So example, +1@gmail.com, and then +2, +3, +4, +5, however many accounts you need. That way you don't need unique passwords for everything else. And then this is just the IAM role name that gets created. They can then assume in that account that gets created automatically. And of course you can tag as well. How many accounts you create is entirely up to you. I'll leave that up to you. This is what I have in my setup. First, I have the management account, which is what you will have as well from the account. That's basically the account that you create everything else from. This is that root or top level one. Otherwise, I created a workload directory or organizational unit, but I don't have any accounts in that. Same thing for suspended. And then I have the security OU that has my log archive and my security tooling. Then we have a sandbox environment, sandbox OU, where I have containers. This is for our upcoming containers course. You can ignore that. I have a demo one. I use this a lot for demos, and same thing for example. And then finally, I have infrastructure where I have shared services, and I could deploy things like Identity Center, directory service, and so on. So I've got multiple accounts in here. You do not need this many. You could just get by with the log archive, security tooling, and management account if you want. But if you want to create some others and have fun with it, feel free to do that as well. Remember that accounts don't cost anything. It's only when you launch resources in those accounts that you can get stuck with bills. But creating accounts itself is 100% free, so you can create as many as you like. In order to create an organizational unit, you just need to click next to root right here, then go to actions and then create new, and you'll want to name your organizational unit and then create it. It's that simple, very straightforward. After you've created your accounts, so go ahead and pause here, do that first. And then once you've done that, you'll want to navigate to Identity Center, where we created our permission sets. And then you'll want to navigate to AWS accounts. From that dashboard, you'll be able to see all the accounts and organizational units that we created. This should look familiar because we did this when we deployed our permission sets and our roles, including administrator access, billing, security admin, security deploy, etc. So you'll need to deploy those similar permission sets to the accounts you've just created. You'll do that by selecting the accounts and then going to assign users or groups. And then you can select the groups that we have created, go through those steps. We've seen this before. This is no different. So you already know the steps. I'll let you go ahead and complete that as I've already configured it. Once you do that, so go ahead and pause here for a second. And then once you do that, you can go back to your Access Portal URL, which you can get from dashboard. You can see that from here or from your terminal as well. Once you go there, you'll want to refresh your Access Portal page. And it doesn't matter how many times I get rid of this toolbar, they really want me to know that I can create shortcuts. It's kind of ridiculous, but go ahead and close that out so we have more screen real estate. And then you'll see all the containers, or all the, I was looking at containers. You'll see all the accounts that you've created in your organization. You can see the account ID. And then if you expand that, you'll see your permission sets. So if we look at log archive, we should see at least administrator role and read only. We don't really need those for this demo. I just have them in there just in case. But really for this demonstration, we only need read only and administrator access in log archive and security tooling, and then also in cyber demo management, which is what I named my management account. Yours will be a slightly different name, of course. So with our permissions deployed with our AWS accounts, we're now ready to centralize logging and querying. So go ahead and complete this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.